I love being able to show this area off. Going under the bridges and showing people just a different side of Yuma that they probably drive by every day, but they've never really been a part of. That's really cool. I'm Brian Leto, and I operate Leto's Kayak and Paddleboard Rentals. Kayaking paddleboarding out here is pretty awesome. It is, because we're below the dams, it's very controlled, it's very low and slow and shallow, and that lets people that are at different skill levels, they can come out and still enjoy it and feel safe and comfortable. It really makes an easy, fun, lazy trip for people, which is, I think, what people are looking for during the summer, just a chance to cool off.
But you can also work up a sweat heading upriver.
Saturday and Sunday mornings, we get together as a group and we go in the river here, which is the lower end of it, the far west end. There's not much more back down that way, and we paddle upriver against the current for about an hour until we get to Gateway Park. And when we get to Gateway, we hang out and relax and get some water and rest for a little bit. Some people get out and swim around, take pictures under the ocean-to-ocean bridge, and then we float back down.
It's a unique workout experience you may not find anywhere else in Arizona, except here on the Colorado River.
The way that I phrase it is that it's challenging but doable. It's not hard to paddle, it's just constant paddling. Because once you stop, then you just float back and undo everything that you did. So it's just constant paddling upriver. The float back is amazing. It's so relaxing after working so hard. It's such an awesome reward.
Brian got the idea for this upstream workout from some of his renters.
They came down and they wanted to rent them here, and I said, there's not a whole lot further down the river that you can go. And they said, yeah, we know, we're going upriver. And I was amazed. I had never thought of doing that. So they showed me, and they did exactly what the workout class is. They paddle upriver to Gateway, and then they rested, and then they came back down. And I said, you know what? That was probably a pretty good workout. So I came out and did it by myself. And I said, you know, this is challenging but doable, and this is something that I think a lot of people could enjoy. So I started offering it, and it took off. There's a lot of times that people, they want to kayak, but they don't want to do the class. And that's where I try to guide them to more relaxing areas like a lake nearby or something like that. And they'll always come back. And then eventually they feel more confident, and then maybe they'll try the class because now they're comfortable on a kayak. Or, you know, vice versa. Somebody that comes to the class first realizes that, hey, I can do this. That means I can go anywhere, basically, and feel comfortable. So then they'll transition to the hourly rentals, the private rentals. I offer 2, 4, and 6 hour rental periods, and the reason I do that is because the trip going up and down takes about 2 hours, but people want to bring coolers out, they want to bring, you know, food to eat, and you can find these little islands or beaches along the whole trip. I think it is iconic to be able to say that you came down here and you kayaked or paddleboarded the Colorado River. Even though it's tamed a little bit with the dams that are further upriver, you're on the Colorado, and it is wild and rugged, and there, you know, it's kind of an experience, kind of like a checklist thing that you could say that you wanted to do. You know, come down here. I mean, it's right here. It's easily accessible in several places, so that's pretty awesome that we have that opportunity out here.
Colorado River is really the whole reason that Yuma exists at this location. Yuma's history is tied to what's known as the Yuma Crossing. And the Yuma Crossing is a place where the Colorado River naturally narrowed as it ran in between these two hills that were very close together. Where the ocean-to-ocean bridge is today and where the railroad bridge is today, those two bridges span those two hills that formed the historic crossing. So that is the most narrow spot right there. We are standing on the grounds of the Colorado River State Historic Park, and we have two major time periods that we interpret here at the park. The first is when the U.S. Army built this site as the Yuma Quartermaster Depot, which was an Army supply depot that operated between 1865 and 1883. After the depot closed in the early 1880s, we entered our second time period, and that is when we kind of became Yuma's irrigation headquarters. And in the early 1900s, the Bureau of Reclamation moved on site, and the site then became known as the Yuma Project Headquarters. There were three basic components of the Yuma project that made irrigation possible on a large scale. The first component that was constructed was Laguna Dam, which became the very first dam built on the river, and it's just about 10 miles upriver from Yuma. The second component is the Yuma Main Canal, which is still in use today. And the third component, which is also still in use, is called the Colorado River Siphon. And that is essentially a U-shaped tunnel that carries canal water from the California side of the river underneath the bed of the Colorado and then pops it up on the Arizona side. Today, it's a river that an estimated 40 million people depend upon. And the straws, as they call them, that reach from the river outward travel all the way to Tucson, LA, San Diego. Contrary to the settlement of much of the eastern United States, for Arizona, a lot of things arrived from the west, from California, and that's very true for Yuma. One of the first things that Yuma had was the first railroad in Arizona. It was the Southern Pacific Line, and it continued on into Arizona. Yuma is not just a rest stop between Phoenix and San Diego. We really have a lot of important history, and a lot of history that will help folks understand all of Arizona and the larger Southwest.